Honorable Men Discord. DJ Akademiks responds to Mano. Let's talk about it.
How you see yourself is how you perceived. I see a man strong, gifted, head strapping, never down on his knees, begging. Gotta make a way, even in my darkest hour. Say the odds against me was new. I would never cower.
As always, welcome back to another episode. If you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and if you have an opinion you'd like to share, I'll see you in the comment section. So let's get straight to it. First and foremost, it is freezing outside here in New York. I have to say that. And that's why if you hear something running in the background, that's the car running to keep the heat on. I usually don't record with the car running, but listen, this is the type of cold where you wonder if God is mad at somebody because it's that cold. It really is that cold. But so let's get straight to it. I want to say maybe a week or two ago, I covered an episode on DJ Akademiks speaking on particularly artists that are 40 and above, 40 years old and above, wearing a certain type of attire as if they're trying to remain young. Now, when he spoke about this, he was talking specifically about the panel of artists. Excuse me as I adjust. He was talking about the panel of artists that's on the podcast, which consists of Jim Jones, Mano, Fabulous, and although Dave East is on that podcast, this wasn't, his comments weren't addressed to Dave East. It was more about Fabulous, Mano, and Jim Jones. If you didn't see that episode that I covered, I'll attach it to the end of this episode here. But basically, he was just saying the way they dress doesn't match their age. It's as if they're trying to be forever young. He went as far, I think, as calling Jim Jones a senior citizen. And when he did that, Mano responded to him, and Mano had some things to say to Akademiks. And if you're unaware of what Mano had to say to Akademiks, let's take a look at this video and we'll talk about it further.
A wet, fucking bad body ass nigga running your mouth about what niggas should be wearing and all that. All I'm listen, just it's all cool. We gonna get it, but just understand what you give, we gonna give back though. So it is what it is though. You want, cause I seen you, nigga, and we had a conversation. You was very nice. You understand? So
I seen him too.
Yeah, so
I think I ever seen Akademiks.
I never seen him in life. And
I be outside a little bit.
Right.
I've never seen him.
Of course you don't.
Not like I was looking for him or anything, but I just never just crossed
Let me
paths.
tell you why. Let me tell you why. Right? Because this is a guy that had a hard time dealing with life early on.
I've seen him before.
Right? Right? And being
he be outside. I be seeing he be places
outside,
though.
Right? But listen to this.
Y'all told me y'all bumped into him.
Let me tell you.
Where y'all bumped into him at?
At a young NBA concert.
I think that's where they go. They go to like shows. That's where you gotta catch him at.
But let me tell you about the nigga.
Run into them at.
He had a hard time in life.
He knows.
Right? Because he's insecure. He probably grew up hating himself. You understand? This is a nigga that hated himself because he couldn't be cool. Right? So now that a few dollars then got you the confidence you need, because what do money do for a lame nigga? Give him confidence, right? But you know what money don't do for a nigga? It don't unlame a lame.
Let me ask you. So there you have it. That was Mano's best effort to defend his camp, defend his brothers, defend, I guess, his age group. I don't know if he was defending gentlemen that are in their 40s. I think it was more about just defending his brothers, Jim Jones, Fabulous, and himself. You know, in addition to defending everyone, he was attacking the way DJ Akademiks dresses and attacking the fact that, you know, I guess he doesn't see DJ Akademiks as someone who he respects that could be speaking on how they choose to dress. Now, in the episode that I'm going to have attached to this, I spoke about the fact that I understand where Akademiks was going with this, but as far as I'm concerned, all four of them are still somewhat active in the music industry. Fabulous has taken a little hiatus. I think the last thing Fabulous has done is like his mixtape songs, or maybe he's been putting out singles, but he's not that active. Dave East is the one that's, I want to say, consistently active. But again, DJ Akademiks wasn't talking about Davies in particular, because Davies, I believe, is mid to late 30s, so he's almost in that conversation. But DJ Akademiks wasn't addressing Davies. But Mano, I don't know if Mano's been doing music much. I think he's doing more podcasting than music. But Jim Jones clearly is still doing music. And so one of the things that I said in defense of the three artists is that they're still in the music industry, and that's part of their brand for the genre that they're in. So it kind of gives them that leeway to do so. Now, outside of the fact that they're grown-ass men and they could wear whatever they want to wear, I understand what DJ Akademiks was saying, though. But that's why in my episode, which I won't go too much into, my thing is more about, it's not so much the way they dress, although that is a conversation that can be had. It's also about the behavior. So what is their behavior like? You know, and that's a totally different conversation in itself, but it's still a justified or justifiable conversation in any regard. But so yeah, Mano tried to defend the camp, but then as of late, DJ Akademiks had something to say to Mano responding to him speaking on it. And let me just be clear, DJ Akademiks started this, so he has to take ownership for the fact that he pointed fingers and called their names out to talk about them and how they dress. So if there's anyone to blame in however this goes, it's DJ Akademiks first and foremost. And I would assume he would accept that responsibility since he chose to sit down on his channel and speak on what they're doing, right? So Mano defends the team, which I was waiting for that to happen. I knew it was going to happen either from Mano or from Jim Jones. Not so much Fabulous or Davies, but from Mano or Jim Jones, which Mano decided to do it. And now here it is, Akademiks is responding to Mano. So if you're unfamiliar with that, let's take a look at this video and we'll talk further.
That, this is that. Yo, Mano, let me give you the details real quick. And this is why I told you, boy, you couldn't win a rap battle. Don't come over here and think you could win a battle on these microphones where we're talking and we're trading ideas with me. I keep telling you, I'm Jay-Z, Kareem, Wilt, fucking Michael Jordan, and motherfucking Tom Brady rolled up in one. You can't fuck with me. Come on, stop playing. So let me talk to you real quick. When you're talking about, let me hear what you say again.
Nah, it's either you understand or you don't. Period. Point blank. You understand? And when you speak about fashion and when you speak about what niggas is wearing today, let me just give you some game.
You can't give me no game.
Oh. Tim's, Air Force.
Hold on. Let me just address that real quick.
Tim's, and when you speak about time, it's either you a lame or you not. It's either you with it or you not. It's either you understand or you don't.
Respectfully, Mano, Jim Jones, y'all can't give me no game. Let me tell y'all the goddamn truth. Let me just break it down. And y'all could print this, put this everywhere. Y'all went from being lobby boys to the pod boys. Y'all was hustling on the block of being in the streets. Then y'all was hustling with the microphones and being rappers. Y'all over here trying to hustle on my block, the block that I built. The shit y'all doing, I helped build, nigga. Remember that. So y'all can't talk about lame because I never came to y'all block. I ain't come to y'all block like, yo, I can't get no money. So, yo, listen, yo, could I sell a brick over here? Yo, I can't, my shit's slow over there. Could I start rapping? No, nigga. Rap slowed up. Nobody listening to y'all. Facts. Right? Y'all couldn't clearly get nothing in, well, I don't want to encourage nobody to get nothing in the streets. Y'all on my block. My block is a podcast broadcasting block. You on my block. I can't be lame. The lame nigga created the block you're fucking with. Ask about it. While you're sitting there, I helped create this shit. I'm the reason, one of the reasons radio is dead. I did that. The lame nigga did that. So if I created the block you coming to hustle on, boy, you can't tell me a motherfucking thing. What you talking about? What you talking about? Y'all went from lobby boys to pod boys. It's not happening. What are you talking about? I never came to y'all block. I've been getting money here for 15 years. Factuals.
So this is why I said Akademiks was cooking. This is why I decided to go with the thumbnail that I created. It's because Akademiks has a point. Now, he started this mess, and maybe he did all of this for attention, for content. You know, some people have their unique ways of creating content for their platforms, but he initiated this by talking about them. They did what most people would do, and responded, and well, at least most people in this realm, in this space, they're gonna respond. They responded, meaning Mano responded, and so then he said what he said, but he does have a point. He was in this space of podcasting long before a lot of the other names that are out there. And for Mano to try to take the angle of big dog, little dog, like, you know, calm yourself down, pup, you know, that's the kind of angle Mano took. It's kind of, no, because Akademiks was there in that space the whole time through. He's been doing his channel. You know, Akademiks was never an artist, and he does have a point. He never tried to go into rap, you know, but where Akademiks is wrong, in my humble opinion, Akademiks is wrong is because you're talking about their attire. So you didn't critique them on their music, at least in that particular episode that I covered. You weren't talking about their music, and you weren't talking about their podcast. You were talking about how they dress, right? So you opened up the door for a rebuttal. So again, the onus is on Akademiks for speaking on it, but he did have a point. You can't, for Mano now, Mano can't act as though Akademiks is out of pocket for speaking, because you're speaking as a now podcaster. You know, you're not necessarily claiming yourself as a rap artist. Although, again, I don't think any of the guys on the panel, any four of them, are considered retired. They may be taking some time off, but I think they still are very much involved in rap, because I'm pretty sure if there's a check involved, they're going to be on stage performing. So I look at that as you're still actively rapping. Now, if you're not actively rapping, you wouldn't even be caught on stage. You'd say, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm doing this now. But what's your thoughts on what you watched? I felt like Akademiks cooked him. I mean, he's just off of the fact that he said, listen, I'm a podcaster. You're new to this space, so you're actually infringing on my space, you know? But listen, my thoughts is this, and this is always going to be my stance. We should all just be concerned with what we're trying to accomplish. Like, all right, perfect example. If Akademiks is speaking on something that was divisive, that had to do with them, then fine, because you're a content creator. And if it's made public, it's all within it all fits into what it is that you do as a podcast, as someone with a channel. But to speak on how they dress, that's how they choose to dress. Do I agree with how they dress? Not really. I don't really agree with it. They're grown men, they can wear what they want, but I don't necessarily agree with men at a certain age wearing a certain attire. I agree with that. I actually agree with, we should elevate how we present ourselves at a certain age. I just feel that way. I personally wouldn't want to project an image of someone my age looking like someone that's in their 20s. That for me, I wouldn't want to do that. That's me personally, and I actually fall into the class of Mano and Jim Jones. I'm a little bit younger than them, but all in all, I'm past 40, so I wouldn't want to look like somebody in their 20s. So if a lot of people were telling me that you look like you're trying to dress young, I personally would switch up what I'm wearing, because I wouldn't want to look like I'm young, because that's not the goal. The goal is to embrace aging, especially knowing that there's been people in your surrounding that didn't make it to this age. So why are you trying to repeat the past? And even if you dress a certain way, that's not going to change the fact that your body's breaking down. You're getting older by the day. So what's your thoughts on this? Again, everyone has their right to wear what they want, but Akademiks started this, so he's not in the clear. He started it. He spoke on them. So however this plays out, Akademiks, you started this. Just take onus to it. But But yeah, that's my take on it. What's yours? As always, I appreciate everyone for tuning in. If you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to tell a friend and tell a friend. I drop episodes daily at 5 p.m. Eastern time. So as always, stay honorable.